Hello, everybody, and thank you for taking the time today to join us for a manufacturing overview of Fusion 360 and the top reasons to step up onto this platform. My focus today will center on the computer-aided manufacturing, or CAM, side of Fusion 360. And one of the key words in this presentation is platform. And its significance is going to be fundamental to how we can answer your most predominant question: why should I consider the Fusion 360 platform for my manufacturing needs? Now, before I jump into this, I'd like to note that we are recording this session to share with everyone later on, and we will be monitoring the chat window throughout this presentation, so please feel free to send a message anytime, and myself, Mike, or Robert will address them on the spot or queue them up during our Q&A session, which is going to happen in about 15 to 20 minutes. So we do welcome your feedback and wish to make the best use of your time on this call. And to this end, I would like to present today's agenda. I've noticed a start time on our first item is 3 p.m. and our last item is 3:20 to give us plenty of time to interact with everyone and answer your questions. I'll begin with an overview of the core functionality in Fusion 360 and follow up with a broader sweep across manufacturing through the extensions and the advanced manufacturing platform. So I hope you find this to be a good use of your time, and I look forward to your feedback. A little about me. I joined manufacturing in Windsor, Ontario in the late 90s as an apprentice machinist. And for those less familiar with Windsor, we've got a large manufacturing presence that has long embraced emerging technologies and advanced manufacturing practices. So this was a really good place to begin my trade. I've flown a number of flags over the years, tallying about 20 years in manufacturing education and consultation. And with SolidCAD, I'm fortunate to bring all these experiences together. Joining me on this call are two of my colleagues, Mike and Robert. I'll first pass over to Mike, and then I will introduce Robert straight after. So please go ahead, introduce yourself, Mike.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Belanger. Similar to Rob mentioned, I do come from the manufacturing background as well. I started my apprenticeship here in the Windsor, Essex community and worked at two of the larger mold shops in the area, running both 3- and 5-axis CNC machines. When the opportunity came to join the team at Delcam, which was eventually Autodesk, I jumped at that and ended up becoming an applications engineer where I would travel around and help people learn the software and help prove out new strategies and processes with different companies. Since then, I've obviously migrated on to the SolidCAD team, where I'm an account manager helping the sales team and bringing our product to new environments, new companies, and that's pretty much it.
Very nice. Thanks, Mike. And for those that don't know, Mike and I have hosted a number of events together over the years. We worked together at Autodesk and Delcam, so we've become pretty acclimated to one another, I think is a fair statement, Mike.
Absolutely.
Yep. So let's keep those coming.
Yeah.
Our second panelist is a very familiar face in SolidCAD circles, and especially to our book of Fusion 360 customers. So please introduce yourself, Rob.
How you doing, folks? My name is Robert Kobielski. Been with SolidCAD for a long time now, and 25 years in the automotive industry and consumer products as well. I think this is kind of a theme between all of us in the advanced manufacturing team. We all have some experience in the industry. I want to say that for 13 of my glorious 25 years, I was actually a SolidCAD customer, buying software and taking training from them. So finally joined them about 14 years ago. Had a lot of hats like many other people. I learned to sweep the floor before I learned to polish a mold. Built my own CNC machines in the basement. Wife thinks I'm a little bit of a nut, but hey, we're having fun, right? Anyways, yeah, and now I'm specializing in mostly dealing with a lot of customers on manufacturing side of things, the CAM end of things, whether it's Fusion 360 or whatever other product that we offer.
That's great. Thank you. And it's funny you mentioned the sweeping. There's definitely some amusing anecdotes I could probably bring in, but we'll have to save them from another call, another time, or something like that. But I got some funny stories, anyways. So this is the first time Rob and I have teamed up on a webinar together, and I'm especially happy to have him join us today, as he is really well regarded on our team for his expertise in Fusion. So to that end, those that have a difficult question or big question, please direct them toward Rob. Thank you, Rob. Okay, so back to the word platform, a connected system of tools and capabilities for delivering the successful business outcomes that you deserve without the messy, disjointed workflow that can waste time and wear the patience of engineers, operators, and users alike. Fusion 360 invests in the future of product development and manufacturing to accelerate innovation across all disciplines. Now, this ensures your team has the tools to automate mundane tasks, has the agility and connectivity to manage supply networks, and has access to the latest manufacturing technologies. So, for those that are not yet aware, Fusion 360 is not just a CAD package, not just CAM, not just simulation, documentation, rendering, or electronics. It is all of the above. Regarding product design, although using Fusion 360 as a primary CAD tool offers several benefits to integrated and collaborative development, I should mention this is not a prerequisite. You may still enjoy the downstream manufacturing benefits through Autodesk's AnyCAD functionality. If you haven't heard AnyCAD, it's where users can import or even incorporate third-party CAD formats into the Fusion experience, and then begin the manufacturing process on these proprietary formats. Now, this brings me back to the core of my presentation, which is the focus on CAM. Manufacturing allows us to turn designs into reality by means of additive, subtractive processes, such as milling, turning, turn mill, and profiling. Accessible from core Fusion 360, which is functionality straight out of the box without subscribing to technology extensions, Fusion already comes equipped with a wide array of capabilities. So although my goal is to spend the bulk of our time on advanced manufacturing technology, I first want to set the stage by introducing how Fusion 360 has reimagined machining workflows and the user experience. Finally, delivering a modernized environment to users who may still find themselves flailing in a cluttered interface that is decades out of date. A fully integrated manufacturing workspace connects design and engineering to your manufacturing process. Stay connected to your data with a cloud-enabled infrastructure that is accessible on a Mac, mobile, and PC. Cloud libraries for your post-processors and tools means that you will always have what you need to get the job done. Consistency across operations from 2D milling to multi-axis makes using Fusion 360 easy to learn and retain. But the manufacturing capability does not stop there. Fusion also contains operations for turning, mill turn, probing, and profiling, commonly used for water jet and laser cutting CNCs. The modern 64-bit multi-core engine means that Toolpath will calculate quickly and that users can spend their time where it counts most. Advanced capabilities such as rest machining, expressions, user-defined defaults, and unlimited number of custom templates will take your manufacturing productivity to the next level. So no matter the operation you need, Fusion includes a powerful stock simulation engine for verification and an extensive library of free and fully customizable post-processors to fit your needs. So to recap, all of this functionality is available in the core version of Fusion 360. If we now consider the broader platform, we can see that it's extensible. The first option to extend the capabilities within the Fusion platform is through a subscription or pay-per-use mechanism called extensions. Customers can access a level of technology suitable to their requirements and protect their costs. As the complexity of manufacturing components increases, so do the demands placed on the CAM software used to drive CNC machinery. The Fusion 360 machining extension unlocks additional capabilities for CAM automation, multi-axis machining, and in-process quality control to allow machine shops and manufacturing departments to produce better quality parts and shorten production times. I'll highlight 4 main technology additions included in the machining extension. Now, the first pertains to hole recognition. This automatically analyzes the solid model and identifies different hole signatures, such as counterbores and countersinks. Tool selection is also automatic, saving considerable programming time. Manufacturing productivity can be increased using automated programming tools such as drilling automation. Hole profiles can be detected and programmed automatically, automating decisions that would otherwise have been made manually. What's more, by automating, no matter who's programming, the resulting output can be the same. This allows flexible changeovers, improves result consistency, and ultimately component reliability. Pardon me. Next, we're going to look at a toolpath strategy available in the manufacturing extension named Steep and Shallow. This versatile toolpath combines 2 toolpaths into one for optimal surface finish and reduced programming time. It applies one strategy to steep areas, much like a contour or Z-level toolpath, and it applies another one to the shallow areas, whether scallop or parallel, also known as raster. For finish machining, the programming of feature-rich freeform parts can be a time-consuming activity by experimenting with different toolpaths to get the right result. The single steep and shallow strategy combines the strengths of varying 3D finishing toolpaths by automatically detecting surface slopes and applying the appropriate strategy for each region. What's more, there's a wealth of options to control the output, all from a single location. These controls include the ability to choose your finishing style for the shallow regions, enable continuous passes, set the cut direction, step over, and of course the overlap distance, which smooths that transition between the regions. Shallow regions have additional options to improve surface finish and increase tool life. The direction of parallel lines are automatically detected or determined for each region, and this minimizes transitional moves, while the wall clearance option prevents tool marks from being left on adjacent steep walls. On the scallop passes, the smooth offsets option rounds off sharp corners, which improves machine motion and reduces dwell marks on the finished part. Corner cusps are also automatically detected and removed, further refining the final surface and minimizing the need for handwork or manual polishing. Next, let's talk multi-axis. Now, in this video, we can see that this process begins by checking the part. Accessibility analysis shading creates a quick visual reference indicating whether or not the part can be fully machined from a single direction. Now, this speeds up the decision process on how to orient and fixture your parts ready for machining. To reduce the cost of fixturing and produce parts in fewer setups, multi-axis positional such as 3+1, 3+2 machining can be used. Toolpath directions can be rapidly selected and calculated with efficient ordering options for multi-part machining on tombstones. To address fourth axis machining, such as a bolt-on fourth axis or turn mill machine, there is a fourth axis rotary capability. This allows full 4-axis simultaneous machining of freeform shapes with multiple pass options that best suit your geometry. For the most complex parts, there's a full simultaneous 5-axis programming to allow the use of shorter tools, which are more rigid and reduce vibration, that ultimately improve the surface quality of finishing operations. A selection of toolpath options are available as well, with a range of tilting methods to improve surface finish, as well as the ability to cut with the side of a tool to take advantage of its entire flute length. Extending this further, Fusion has automatic collision avoidance. Parts can be programmed using a primary tool direction, such as vertical, and in the event of a detected collision, the tool is automatically tilted away from the part for removing the collision. This is enhanced with intelligent smoothing to help avoid sudden and erratic motions of the machine. And tool axis limits are naturally controlled as well. This will control how far the tool tilts. So with the ability to simulate the toolpath to provide confidence in your programming, Fusion gives you the capability to deliver multi-axis parts. Lastly, under this topic of extension, I'll cover on-machine verification, also known as OMV, and this helps users reduce the setup cycle times on CNCs, as well as realize better part quality. Almost all new machines ship with probes, and this is for a good reason. So let's put them into the production cycles. In this video, we can see that difficult and time-consuming manual part setup and checking. We can reduce productive machining time of your manufacturing parts. My apologies, tripping over my words here.
No worries.
Excuse me.
Just before you continue, I just wanted to mention, and anybody still have any questions? I know Rob's been going through this really nice and fluid, but don't be shy, guys, or folks out there, please ask some questions.
This is true. I mean, the more interactive it is, obviously, the better it is for the end user and for everyone to consume this. So please do. I don't mind pausing. And change of my voice to these other fine gentlemen on the line is not a bad thing either. So we're always okay with that. All right. The Fusion extension provides in-cycle inspection capabilities using spindle-mounted probes to monitor and control the quality of your CNC machining process. The integrated platform of Fusion 360 means that the setup, programming, and verification of machining into a unified single experience lets you quickly and accurately check this part setup and part quality. So now let's look at this next platform option to extend Fusion 360's advanced CAM capabilities.
Hey, Rob, just before we kind of navigate away from the probing side, we did have a question come in about the probing. Question's actually asking, do you need a separate post to handle the inspection cycles? Are these posts available to us? So I guess to answer that, yes, you actually do need a separate post that's built custom for the machine. It is a very customized process. And Rob Piccinich, if you have any, I guess, more detail on that, that'd be good. But basically, yeah, we do need to come in, commission the machine, make sure it lines up with Fusion, and the machine speaks to the software to get the information back properly.
Well, you got that right, Mike. But in actual fact, I think if I can recall, do you not have someone down in the Windsor area that there's a project going on right now? Because I know there's some things going on with a few customers, but you specifically have something, don't you?
Yeah, we actually do have a mold shop here in about 20 minutes away from my house here in Windsor, where they actually implemented this Fusion probing, and it was quite new at the time. And they're now using it on they got a brand new Hartford, I think the machine was, and they're actually using it to inspect all of their plates that come off. So there's less rework, there's no setting a job back up, and they're saving time. They're getting more accurate pieces that come off the machine, and they're actually quite happy with it. So yeah, we actually do have a success story on that front for this brand new tool that's inside of Fusion 360.
Looking forward to that. Actually, that's probably going to be coming out to pretty shortly.
Yeah, we have a nice little success story with a video and some details on it, set to release, I think, in
upcoming holiday present for everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for that. I do appreciate it. So, as I was mentioning, we've looked at core Fusion, right? We looked at Fusion with extensions, and now if we're looking at the broader platform, What are the other advanced capabilities, right, within the Fusion umbrella? So specifically in this case, I'm talking about Fusion 360 with PowerMill and Fusion 360 with FeatureCAM. This is for those that require the best-in-class, industry-leading technology to reach your business outcomes. And all of this is accessible within this game-changing platform. As this graphic depicts, there are decades of product development and engineering that is not simply ported into Fusion, but it's enhanced, modernized, and re-engineered to be more efficient. This unifies the most potent technologies in a single platform and enables a cohesive experience across design, engineering, manufacturing, with customers' data at its center. Key differentiators for PowerMill is complexity and control. So I'm going to detail just a couple. Robotics, dedicated tools for offline programming of industrial robots. It'll avoid axis singularities and other robotic specific issues. And PowerMill also includes additive for high rate directed energy deposition, making hybrid, additive, and subtractive workflows possible. The second piece I'd like to note is automation. Customize your interaction with PowerMill for huge productivity gains. Automate repetitive tasks with extremely powerful user-defined logic, and embed your machining expertise and standards into machining templates and use on families of parts. You can define your own custom toolbars containing your favorite commands. And of course, you can share these with the entire engineering team for huge productivity gains. Transforming part designs into reality requires a CAM package with the ability to deal with the most complex of milled parts. Fusion 360 with PowerMill has that fine level of control and flexibility required to satisfy this need. For high volume stock removal, PowerMill generates high efficiency, high-speed toolpaths such as Vortex. These decreased cycle times produce parts quicker while controlling the tool engagement to even out the load, reduce wear, and increase the life of your cutting tools. Effective stock management techniques minimize air cutting, allowing the tool to continually engage into the material. Toolpath editing can be used to quickly modify toolpaths without the need to recalculate them. Minimizing tool lengths to decrease vibration and improve surface finish can be achieved by utilizing the full capability of the multi-axis machines. Tool axis decisions can be made prior to calculation or quickly applied afterwards. This fine-tunes the output desired for that machine. Simulation and verification before live machining can reduce downtime, resulting in safe, optimized toolpaths critical for confidence for unattended production, as in lights out production. So Fusion 360 with PowerMill is the expert choice for CAM dedicated to producing exceptional quality and trusted to deliver. We also have Fusion 360 with FeatureCAM, and the key differentiator being versatility and automation. Milling, turning, turn mill, wire EDM, Swiss style, and tombstones is the versatility. For automation, out-of-the-box intelligent libraries focused on material and equipment, tool database, and process allow you to see formidable gains. Fusion 360 with FeatureCAM includes feature recognition to identify and create machinable features from your solid models, such as holes, bosses, pockets, just to name a few. Simply import your model and navigate through the wizard to set up your part, define your stock prior to recognition. Feature recognition can be performed in two different ways, automatic or interactive. Automatic is going to scan your model and generate a list of identified features which you can choose to machine. The automation within FeatureCAM simultaneously creates operations or toolpaths within the feature containing all the information you need to begin the cycle and reduce repetitive tasks. If your part requires multiple work offsets, you can use automatic feature recognition to interrogate the parts for multiple orientations and combinations of setups. Automatic feature recognition provides the quickest result to get you from design to NC code. But if you need more control, interactive recognition to program parts by specific features is available. You simply select features or faces from your solid model to quickly identify the location and dimensions of your feature. Recognition can be used with a range of CNC machine types and giving you the tools you need to simplify and reduce your programming time. Fusion 360 with FeatureCAM also supports turn mill centers by enabling both milling and turning features to be created in the same document and machined in a single setup. Choose whether you want to create turning or milling features using either dimensions from a blueprint, imported 2D curves, or 3D solid model faces. Recognition can be used to automatically detect features on the axial face or diameter, thereby reducing programming times. Milling operations can be quickly switched to using either the C-axis or Y-axis for improved surface finish. Advanced tool holders, such as mini turrets, multi-tool blocks, enhance the tool capacity of your machine and reduce the chance for tool changes. For machines with induxible heads, fixed and B-axis turning is supported to improve clearance and minimize witness marks. The B-axis can also be used for angled features and full 5-axis simultaneous milling. Productivity is maximized for multitasking turn mills using pinch and following turning to double the feed rate or double the rate of material removal with automatic synchronization of operations. Pinch milling is also supported by using drag and drop synchronization of operations in between turrets and spindles to reduce your overall cycle time. Now here at SolidCAD, we thrive on advanced consultative service. With locations across Canada, we are committed to exploring the future of making and testing the CAM technology that we develop, whether virtually or live on site. I really do thank you for your time. As a next step, it'd be great to explore how can we, or how can you see your future of making? So let's see if we can find some of these in the Q&A perhaps. A wide open chit chat. We're looking for some feedback for everybody.
Actually, I have one question. Let me just see here. Where do I find the training materials for Fusion 360? Well, I can answer that question pretty quickly. A couple of things you can do. First of all, consult with us right away. Obviously, we have a full staff, as you can see the nice image in the background. We have a full staff of technical experts. Every one of our guys can actually walk you through a good training session. But you can get a little bit of help with the online training that Fusion has. It's pretty comprehensive, but obviously you can't ask the computer a question because no one's going to answer it. Only we can. So I would always suggest that. If you just go up in the top right-hand corner of the Fusion environment, you have a little question mark there. There's your online training material. It's a good start. I always say that a newbie would probably be best to start in that area first, maybe before they take a class with us, but it's not mandatory because we do offer right from fundamentals all the way to advanced CAM and even other topics too.
And if it's fair to say, it gets updated quite often, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, I echo that same message to any customer that I have that asks about that. You know, you can get a really good start on understanding just how the software behaves and moves and navigate through the forms with this online training. And it does a really good job of getting you going. But when you want to take that next step and become that much better with the software, your best bet is probably to reach out, get some one-on-one custom training, and we're going to tailor it towards exactly what you do and what you need. So there's a lot of resources out there. Just don't be afraid to start asking questions and reaching out to us.
Got another one. I like this one. The post processor is really free. That's an awesome one because you know how we always say nothing's ever free, right? Autodesk fills the list every so often. There's new ones, new posts, new machine configurations, all kinds of things. There is a lot of free, yes. Sometimes they're very generic. Sometimes they're very complex and they're, you know, right out of the box. They work great. But this is, again, one of the other things that our technical staff is very good at. We have a couple of experts in actually building posts. So when there's a machine that's maybe not on the list, or a controller that's not on the list, our guys are capable of doing it, creating one for you specifically. Mike, you were talking about your customer in Windsor with the probing. Again, that was a little bit more complex stuff, right? So it required something special.
Yeah, that was very custom, not to mention newer technology that nobody had, well, not many people have experimented in, but we ended up getting 2 guys there on site. We did some testing back and forth, along with help from the customer with some feedback of what they needed. And we had it dialed in. Actually, I don't even think it was that long. I think it was maybe half a day on site and then a little bit of work back at the office. And our team had the post pretty much to go. I think there's maybe been some minor tweaks since then. But yeah, you know, that's kind of a specialized thing with the probing, because there's not a lot of information on it yet. So we're just kind of building our own information as we go.
Best question out there. So, right, if you have a generic 3-axis machine, typical, you know, controller base, FANUC base, hide base, whatever, you're going to find a post available probably on the cloud, and you can go for it, right? But anything specialized, highly specialized, brand new, I mean, you know, if it requires work, it's going to require some bit of contribution. Yeah, naturally.
Absolutely.
Got another one. Someone had just asked a question: do I need the machining extension to generate toolpaths? Well, that's certain things you do.
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, but for the most part, no. Even a customer, or I would say, you know, the hobbyists out there, they get to post things to their little hobby machines or something like that. But the posts are very limited to what you can do. When you get into the more complex things, you can post pretty much everything. Of course, the probing thing, it requires an extension first off to use probing, and then in turn, your post has to be, you know, configured to create that posted output, right? So
exactly. So I guess you can say the more complex, you know, your part, the greater the chance you're going to need an extension for it, right? But it just depends. Probably the best thing to do, those email addresses on the screen, toss out an email, you know, toss out a picture, you know, or just whatever, reach out to us. We're certainly happy to have a conversation and have a bit more of a personalized one-on-one.
Yep. I got a translation. Just what file formats are available for export from the design environment? Actually, what's interesting is in both cases, either exporting or importing, you know, the standard export step, whoever uses IGES nowadays, but you still have IGES around, DXF for the 2D. If someone is actually doing things in a sheet metal capacity and they're flattening out their components and they want to create a DXF of the flat pattern, they, you know, send that out. DWG formats as well as a format for export. But on the import, because of AnyCAD, we really don't require a translated file. We just require the native file from any of the products that we listed out there. And there's a variety of CAD/CAM systems that are out there that are being used, and we can open up all of those files.
Yep, definitely one of the benefits to using it. It accepts any of those formats, and the fewer translations you have, the fewer issues that you could potentially run into.
Absolutely.
I'm not seeing any more questions on my side. Do you have any on yours, Rob?
Yep. One more, hold on, let me get this one. Can I transfer my tool library from Mastercam? Oh, Mastercam customer, nice. Yeah, funny enough, the Mastercam users out there that we've worked with to convert it over to Fusion, they require their tool libraries. In most cases, that's one of the most precious thing that you have is that full tool library of what you commonly use on your machines. So yes, we can convert those. There's a nice app to download on the App Store, actually. It gets embedded into Fusion, and it's written by one of the Autodesk guys. The last time I used it, it was flawless. It worked throughout the whole process. So yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to transfer your tool library.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought up the Fusion store, right? Because I mean, it's open, and there's quite a lot of different apps and plugins, I guess you could say, that have been added, right?
Quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit. Yeah, that's all I got right now. I think we've answered all of them yet.
Okay. So that's a testament to one of two things. Either my presentation wasn't bad and I answered questions, or I put people to sleep, and I'm not sure what's happening right now, but give everyone a shake.
It's a toss-up.
You didn't put me to sleep, Rob. Awesome. Well, like Rob said, here's our contact info. For anybody that knows us, reach out at any time. You probably even have our cell phone numbers. Go ahead and text us, call us, email us. We're on socials as well. Contact us somehow. We'll answer it.
Absolutely.
That's right. All right, wonderful. Hey, well, thank you very much, everybody. We do appreciate the time. And as I said, it's been recorded, so we will follow up with a message after this, a little thank you message, and a copy of a link to the recording. So thanks again for everybody's time, and we will see you on the next presentation.